So let's come together, set politics aside, and finally get the job done.
A President Donald Trump calling for unity during his first State of the Union address. Coming up, both sides of the aisle talk about the president's vision for the future.
Plus,
it does help nobody in South Carolina, but it creates issues if it passes.
a controversial abortion ban could put your life in the hands of your doctor.
And Marvel's newest superhero is getting in on the action ahead of Sunday's big game.
Live from the WatchFox studios. Start local, stay local with Good Day Columbia right now.
Well, good Wednesday morning, everyone. It's January 31st. I'm Freddie Clairvaux.
And I'm Candace Murphy. Thanks for joining us right here on Good Day Columbia.
So we are a few moments away from a celestial event that scientists say you have to see.
That's right. Get ready to see the super blue blood moon. Now, this full moon is special for three reasons. Number one, the moon is closer to the Earth in its orbit and 14% brighter than usual. The second thing is it's the second full moon of the month.
Pretty cool, huh? And finally, this super blue moon will pass through Earth's shadow for a total lunar eclipse.
Yeah, pretty cool. Chief Meteorologist Dana Fulton is joining us now. Dana, a quick question for you this morning. Why is it called the super blue blood moon? That's pretty lengthy title there.
Isn't it? It's like some Marvel character, Friendly.
Right.
Yes.
So it kind of each one of those words has its own meaning. You guys explained the blue part earlier, of course. That's because it's the second full moon of the month. So that's when it gets that blue title. But while it's in the Earth's shadow, it's going to get this reddish tint, and that's why it's the blood moon
Makes sense.
when it gets both of them together. Of
There
course,
it
people
is.
living on the West Coast, that includes Alaska and Hawaii, they'll be able to see it just before sunrise this morning. So it'll be a better view for them over there. Unfortunately, of course, it's supposed to start right about 5:30. It's very close to our sunrise, actually, and pretty close to when that moon's going to be at the horizon. So we won't have as good of a view here.
Got it,
But our
okay.
folks over in Cali, if you can call them up.
Yeah.
Go outside, look at the moon.
Cool, check it out.
Take a picture. Yeah, I'll FaceTime my sister as a matter
There you
of fact.
go.
I can
Exactly.
wake her up. She'll be so mad.
No, it's worth it.
For a
It's
celestial
worth
event.
it.
Exactly.
I like it.
So Dana, how are things for us here?
Back here at home, guys, that clear sky, of course, it's always nice when we're talking about things to look in the sky for, to have a clear sky to enjoy. Our temps, we'll load that on up for you through the Carolinas and Georgia. It's chilly. 29 in Columbia right now. We're sitting close to 20 in Asheville and 30 up in Greenville. No fog concerns for us this morning. Visibility actually looks pretty smooth as you're heading on out the door. And overall, our wind speed also looks pretty smooth. So both of those a little different situation for what we were talking about this time yesterday. Yes, it is clear through the Carolinas. It'll stay clear through most of the day. We'll take a closer look at your future watch in just a few minutes.
Well, right now things are all calm at the nation's capital, but that wasn't the case last night.
That's right. This is a live shot courtesy of CNN, and all new this morning. President Trump delivers his first State of the Union address, and we're recapping it.
That's right. So Mr. Trump, noting the strong economy, the impact of tax reform, and calling for bipartisan action on immigration.
Mr. Speaker,
Why he's so small.
the President of the United States.
Well, among the guests of the President and First Lady Melania Trump, a veteran who re-enlisted in the Marine Corps after losing his sight and both his legs in Iraq, and a man who has made it his mission to plant a flag on the grave of every veteran in America.
That's right, and that flag planting, actually a 12-year-old who went after that task. Many congressional Democrats brought young immigrants known as Dreamers to the address, and it served as a symbol for the need for immigration reform. The speech marks the unofficial kickoff of Trump's second year in office.
And you know, things got pretty emotional during the president's speech as he honored the memory of Otto Warmbier. Let's get straight to it. Otto's family was there as Trump pledged to, quote, honor Otto's memory with American resolve. You remember, Otto had been detained in North Korea where he confessed to a hostile act. That press conference was the first time North Korea allowed reporters to see Otto since he had been arrested on January 2nd, 2016. This is the press conference we're talking about here. You kind of see him there shaking, crying, looking up and down at times. Now, the Warmbiers were reunited last year with their son Otto shortly before he died after returning from 17 months of captivity in North Korea.
Well, Representative Joe Kennedy had the Democrats' response to the president's State of the Union address. And in his sharply critical speech, Kennedy tied the turmoil of the past year to President Donald Trump's administration. He said many people have spent the past year anxious, angry, and afraid. Kennedy blamed that on the administration's targeting of laws that protect American citizens. Take a listen.
And this nagging, sinking feeling, no matter your political beliefs, that this is not right. This is not who we are.
30 minutes, we're going to hear South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham's take on the president's speech.
Well, coming up tomorrow in Your Voice, Your Future Roundtable, is being hosted by Watch Fox. We'll talk with state and industry leaders about the economic growth for South Carolina, putting South Carolina to work. That's Thursday night and tomorrow at 7 only at WACH.com. Well, immigration was a big sticking point for some last night, and here at the State House, dozens rallied earlier to show their support for new legislation for DACA. Protesters using the hashtag #CleanTrainAct. They're hoping Congress passes rules that will extend protections for those who came to the U.S. as kids. The White House did issue its framework for immigration reform and border security. Under it, current and eligible DACA recipients could be granted a 10 to 12-year path to citizenship. That would include almost 2 million people. DACA recipients say it's important to keep this conversation going.
If it gets repealed and I have to go back to Mexico, pretty much my whole life changes. Everything I've known is here. My education has been here. I am bilingual, but that doesn't make it an easy transition. I'm just very used to the lifestyle here. I'm born in Mexico, but I've been raised in South Carolina my entire life.
Well, under the framework, White House officials also called for a border wall, an end to chain migration, and an end to the visa lottery. March is the deadline for the protections of most DACA recipients.
And the debate on a bill that would likely ban all abortions in the state has been delayed. New details for you on the Senate Judiciary Committee's decision to postpone the personhood bill. The proposal was tabled in a 19-4 vote. According to the bill, life begins at conception, and at that point, the fetus should receive the same rights as a citizen. Both parties question whether the bill is unconstitutional and when to consider a fetus as a person. Right now, the state already bans abortions after 20 weeks of pregnancy. If passed, the bill would force doctors to choose in an emergency between saving the mother's life or killing an embryo. No word yet on when they'll take up this action.
Well, time right now is 5:06.
And let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Dana Fulton for your out the door forecast. Hey, Dana.
Hey, good morning, guys. It's a little chilly outside, right?
Okay.
Yeah, we'll definitely admit to that, but the good news here, it's still nice and clear outside. So if you want to wrap up a little bit and head outdoors to go check out that super blue blood moon, you could certainly do so later on. Temperatures are currently in the 20s. We're at about 29 in Lexington, 26 currently towards Luda. Overall, we will stay nice and clear today throughout the Carolinas and throughout the southeast. Sunshine for us later on this afternoon. Plenty of sun. Same goes overnight. Of course, no sun, just clear. Tomorrow we start off sunny and then clouds build in throughout the afternoon and evening. Showers start to pop up for us just before midnight. Tomorrow night, Friday morning, we have a little bit of light rain. Totals here, barely a quarter of an inch. Really not expecting a lot of rainfall to slide on through, but we'll start Friday afternoon will be clearer for us. The clouds, they can get out of here pretty quickly. Overall, we are expecting plenty of sun. Temperatures in the 40s later on today. We're looking at a high close to about 53 though. Overnight lows fall close to freezing. It's a good thing that we're not talking about rain for us this evening. So you'd be flirting right along that temperature line. Tomorrow night though, that won't be the case. 62 our high for Thursday with those clouds building back in.
All right, also on Fox, Palmetto health officials responding to the heightened flu season in South Carolina. Not only have they initiated visitor restrictions, changed the flow of patients with cold or flu-like symptoms, they're also using a temporary mobile medical unit.
The unit is provided by the Midlands Region Public Health Care Coalition. So far, 46 people have died in South Carolina since the flu season started in October.
So many healthcare centers across the nation, for that matter, are really trying to change things up a little bit because the amount of people that are sick that are coming in. And so just imagine in the hospital, many people who are coming because they're sick, and it's being spread to doctors, being spread to
Right.
nurses. Then those who are on the front lines trying to help you out, they get sick. Then what happens then?
I know, and I know I've seen a lot of people using masks anytime that
Oh,
they're
yeah.
around someone who's sick, or some of the nurses too, because like you said, some of the nurses and doctors are getting sick from treating those patients, which makes sense if you're around it all day.
Right.
You know, you can only use so much Lysol.
Right, exactly. Because after a while, there's going to be somebody you come in contact with that you maybe don't have time to put on the mask, or what if that person sneezes or something?
Right.
And out of all that good, that 5-second sneeze
Yes.
is what gets you.
Hopefully this is the peak and we'll go downhill from here.
Absolutely, yeah.
So just be careful out there. Make sure you keep it right here. In about 8 minutes, we're going to introduce you to the newest member of the Columbia Police Department, and it's a furry friend you'll want to check out.
But first, a new report was released about the state's economy, and the numbers might shock you. Stay with us. Time now is 5:12. Some good news on the economic front for South Carolinians.
According to the governor, we're moving up. A new report from the State Department of Commerce shows more than 18 jobs were created in the state last year and more than $5 billion in investment. Right now, the state also has one of the lowest unemployment rates it's seen in quite some time.
We're meeting all the time. We get a lot of inquiries. Some of them are just cursory, others are very detailed, but we have meetings going on just about around the clock with companies from around the country and around the world that want to come to South Carolina. And the main thing is because of the people. They say the people are what make all the difference, and that's something that we can be very proud of.
Jobs.
Well, so things aren't looking so good for tech giant Apple this morning. The company is expecting to cut the production of the iPhone X because of the fact not a lot of people are actually getting it. The tech giant will make 20 million of its flagship iPhone, which is half as much as originally planned. The cuts don't stop there. Apple will also slash orders for components needed to create the device by 60%. Oh, wow, this is pretty big for Apple, because you remember, Candace, this was like the big to-do.
Right.
Everybody wanted to get that
$1,000 iPhone.
Yeah, that mortgage, basically.
Right.
Yeah, there it is.
That's very true. All right, so Apple's not the only one making changes. We've learned that Facebook is banning ads for cryptocurrencies, and it's really cracking down on doing so. So here is the very latest information that we have. Franny, why don't you go ahead and take this away?
Okay, so that ban includes ads for payment systems like Bitcoin. Facebook said in a blog post that promotions for some kinds of products may be deceptive and threaten security. Now, the new ad policy, which Facebook calls intentionally broad, also restricts ads for binary options and initial coin offerings. It will be enforced on Instagram as well. That is pretty interesting because remember, just a few weeks ago, we were talking to Stevie Miano about Bitcoin, about the surge of Bitcoin and how many people are looking into cryptocurrencies to kind of get rich or to get some money off of. And so now for Facebook to ban the ads, you're wondering, okay, what's going on? Once again, one thing that Stevie Miano told us was that cryptocurrencies are not regulated by a bank. So that, who knows, might be a reason why some people might be complaining and Facebook want to do something different.
Right, yeah, I know. It's going to be interesting to see where this cryptocurrency conversation goes, because it's been in the news pretty frequently.
Yes.
I mean, even just in January.
Right.
So, yeah, interesting that Facebook's taking a stance on this.
See what happens.
All right, well, Governor Henry McMaster just issued a new proclamation. After the break, we'll tell you what it has to do with Sunday's big game.
Plus, Kanye West has come out of hiding, sort of. New information on what the rapper has been up to.
And overall, today is looking a little chilly yet again. About 53 for a high later this afternoon. Closer look at that Future Watch right after the break.
Welcome back to Good Day Columbia. Time now is 5:18. Get ready for your awe moment of the morning. The Columbia Police Department has a new canine. Everybody meet Rusty. The Chocolate Lab has been with his new handler for several weeks now for new assignments, being trained, coming up to par. Rusty's handler works for the Organized Crime and Narcotics Unit. Rusty got to meet some members of the media for the first time yesterday.
We've had a robust canine program, for years that preceded me being here, and I feel like that it's a very important tool for us to have in terms of tracking, apprehending suspects, finding evidence. So it's part of being a modern, full-service police department.
Some new developments from the State House for you. Governor Henry McMaster is signing a proclamation that he wants you to stand up for. That's the American flag. Well, McMaster issued a proclamation yesterday designating February 4th as Stand for the Flag Super Bowl Sunday. In a release, McMaster says that standing for the anthem, quote, recognizes and honors the sacrifice of generations of men and women who have chosen to serve in the United States Armed Forces.
Well, time right now is 5:19.
And let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Dana Fulton for your out-the-door forecast. Hey, Dana.
Hey, good morning, guys. It is clear outside right now. Part of the reason why it is so chilly for us. We're going to continue to have a clear sky throughout the southeast. In fact, our next weather maker well off into the Midwest. Right now, we have some clouds off in that direction. That's about it currently. We're waiting for that weather maker to kind of organize. That'll be closer to us by tomorrow evening. Sunshine today. We are clear overnight, so we're looking at another chilly night for us. Tomorrow morning, we start off clear, but by the afternoon, notice those clouds build on in, and we are expecting to start to see showers overnight close to midnight. Light rainfall, barely 1/4 of an inch for accumulation, just isolated areas hitting 1/4 of an inch. By Friday morning, everything's dry. The clouds just push on east, and then we have sunshine for most of the day through Friday afternoon. Today, though, fairly clear. Should be pretty easy to fly out of CAE. A little chilly outside. 53 for us, the high in the capital city. And anywhere you may be flying to, it's going to be cold, aside from Dallas for us. If you're flying out of CAE. 53 the high for the day. We get a little warmer tomorrow with that warmer air in front of our next cold front. And we will have light showers for us again Thursday night into Friday morning. Notice our temps stay well above freezing. Zero concern for any sort of wintry precipitation for us. Same goes for Sunday. And it will be nice and warm.
Okay.
Above 32.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
Those are pretty good temperatures. They can live with that.
Yeah,
Yes.
these are good ones. As long as it's not 8, 9
Right.
that time.
As long as you can say more than one number.
Right, exactly.
We
This
like
is
double
cool.
digits here.
Yes.
And it was cold, but it was doable. At least there wasn't ice all over the car this morning. You know, you have to wait. It's when you have to wait inside and wait for the car to defrost, wait for everything to come down. Because, you know, you don't want to start the car and go back inside the house because you're always afraid of, gosh, you know, what is somebody?
What's gonna happen?
Yeah, something's
Right.
going to happen.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely. Well,
There
good.
we
Sounds
go.
like we have a good forecast ahead, and
Yeah.
it's Wednesday, so we're halfway through, almost to the weekend.
Ooh,
I like it. I like it. Marching
Yeah.
towards it.
That's right. And February's tomorrow.
Yep.
So we're just moving right
Already.
along. I
Yes,
know,
we are.
crazy. All right, it's 5:21, and one mom's delivery turned out to be a nightmare after being stuck with a huge hospital bill.
Can you guys guess how much that delivery cost? Well, the answer for you in about 13 more minutes.
Yeah, but first, USC's athletic director is responding to some serious allegations. We'll talk about spitting. Your morning sports watch is next. Okay. Spitting.